my beautiful friends and subscribers. I'm so thrilled to have you guys with me. And if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So in today's reading, I'm going to be finding out how men view you. I'm also going to be finding out how your energy influences them and how their energy influences you. So for many of you, the messages that come forward will be sort of general, but it's always possible that there's some messages that will come through that are specifically related to people that are either in your life right now or people from the past. So we'll see what comes forward. And I want to mention that this is a very special collaboration with my favorite jewelry line, Ana Luisa. If you've been watching me for a while, you might have seen me mention this line before. They are my absolute favorite. I wear their jewelry every single day. I love the styling. As I've mentioned before, I like to wear a lot of jewelry, and all of their pieces just go together so beautifully, and the quality is so good. They're all sterling silver, gold plated. I've been wearing their pieces daily for almost a year now, and the pieces that I got at the very beginning still look like they're brand new. I take care of them. There's certain things that you want to do to keep them pristine, and I make sure that I take them off when I'm washing my hands or I'm putting on hand lotion. I don't wear them in the shower. I don't wear them when I'm sleeping. If I'm traveling, they give you these little travel pouches that you can put the pieces in, and I always use those. And every single piece looks brand new. So I highly recommend you guys go and check out their site, analuisa.com. The link is below. And they have graciously offered all of my viewers 20% off. So if you find something that you really love, just enter the code Odessa20 at checkout and the discount will be applied. So let's get into this reading. I've got 3 piles for you guys to select from. Pile number 1 has a lepidolite crystal, the Ana Luisa chain necklace, and these beautiful little white flowers. Pile number 2 has the blue kyanite crystal, the chain link Ana Luisa ring, and this yellow daisy. And then pile number 3 has the selenite stick, the Ana Luisa gold earrings, and the orange flower. So I will give you guys a moment to select your pile. I'll give you a close-up of the items and the cards in just a moment, and I will see you at your pile. Hi, pile number 1, welcome back. So you guys selected the lepidolite crystal, the white flowers that I picked from my garden, and you also picked this gorgeous Ana Luisa gold necklace. And in case you missed the intro, this is a special collaboration with Ana Luisa. I highly recommend you go and check out their site, analuisa.com. And if you find something that you really love, enter code Odessa20 at checkout and you'll receive 20% off. So let's dive into the cards. I'm going to be finding out how men currently view you, and then I'm also going to pull out some other decks and find out how your energy affects them, how their energy affects you. So let's see what you've got. So the first card is Wolverine. You're a lot tougher than you think you are. Followed by Bull. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Next, Patience. Lust. That's card number 1, by the way. And then Boundaries. Ametrine. Optimism, balancing, soothing, intuition. Ametrine combines amethyst and citrine, creating a powerful connection to physical and spiritual realms. Amethyst draws in divine guidance, while citrine incorporates these energies into your life and helps in creating harmony with others. And this particular crystal is also connected to Gemini and Libra. Then guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself, places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Then card number 21, which would reduce down to the number 3, the dove spirit, be peace. Card number 45, which would reduce down to the number 9, parrot spirit, watch your words. Card number 1, courage. And then finally, leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. All right, so there's quite a few energies that are coming forward here. So one of the things that men, think when they meet you or they're interacting with you is they noticed how strong you are. I do get the sense that you are a very charismatic, very kind, gentle individual, and you are extremely intelligent and very balanced. And I think that you've worked hard towards that. There's a reason why you have these strong boundaries coming forward. And I get the sense that you might have had really complicated relationships with people in the past and you had to learn how to erect these boundaries. And I think that some men might be really taken off guard by your strength and the boundaries that you have. Some men are going to be really turned off by that. They'll find it threatening, whereas other men are really enticed by that. They love your strength. And overall, I get the sense that different men have one of two reactions to you. They all seem to find you really, really enticing. They're very attracted to you. They're lusting after you. They want to take action towards you. And I get the sense that you ignite something in them that had laid dormant for a long time. Now, in some cases, it's going to be physical attraction. They're really going to be lusting after you. In other cases, you're igniting a passion that they have inside them that had laid dormant that's related to some sort of talent that they have. It might be a dream that they felt like they didn't have enough courage or resources to move towards, and you give them the kind of encouragement that they need to take action on it. Other men will find your sensual energy or even your own charisma and encouragement very, very threatening, and they will wonder what your motivation is. Like they can't wrap their mind around you potentially wanting what's best for someone just because you're a good person and you're not threatened by the success of another person, because they feel threatened. I think that you've probably had men in the past, possibly even still now, that have tried to sort of knock you down a peg or two. Like, if you have confidence in yourself, sometimes they feel like you are like overstepping in some way. Like you're supposed to feel like you're less than them. And they probably react to lots of people that way. But I think that you have actually been in situations where they have been quite aggressive towards you. Maybe they've just said really mean things to you, or they've tried to block you from having success, or they've, said negative things to other people about you. In some cases, they might have felt like they were slighted, like they were so intoxicated by you, so interested in you, and when you didn't reciprocate that, they were like, I'm gonna, take her down. And that isn't necessarily fair. And I shouldn't even say her, because you're not necessarily a person who identifies as being a feminine, but that's what came out. So this might be a situation that people who are watching this are more in their feminine energy. And we all have feminine and masculine energy within us. The divine feminine energy does have more of this peaceful, guiding energy that comes forward. It's very nurturing. So the other thing that's coming forward is that you really inspire them with the words that you use. There's something about the way that you express yourself that is just brings about a lot of peace, and it also helps men to feel like they can take a leap of faith. They feel like, you know, they will be protected. And maybe you're a very highly spiritual person and you are someone who allows spirit to guide you. I get the sense of high priestess energy. And high priestess energy is allowing yourself to tap into your intuition, to silently observe what's going on around you, to read the energies, and then take action when your intuition and your logic, as well as your heart, are all in alignment and they're telling you the time is now. It's all about having patience, really. And you must bring that out of the men that are around you. Now, in some cases, this patience might be related to their desire for you. You know, like they might see you as someone who's very accomplished, could literally have anyone that you choose. Possibly you're really preoccupied with other things that are going on in your life. You might have a very demanding job, or you have a lot of hobbies, a lot of friends, and they're patiently waiting for their opportunity to take action. You know, like they're not going to rush into this. They recognize that, you know, you are an individual that they will need to invest time and energy in, and this isn't a situation where they can sort of like woo you and use possibly some of the techniques that they would use to sort of win someone else over. Like they need to really, you know, be invested. That you're not going to give anyone the time of day. Like they can't just flatter you and you're going to just like swoon. That's not going to happen. I get the sense that you've been there, done that. You know, like you have had your feelings hurt, you have had your heart broken, you have had your trust broken because of Romeos that have come into your life. And you are a warrior now as well. And the right men will recognize that. And that might be because you're going to have a romantic connection with them. That might be because you're going to have a working partnership with them. You're going to have a friendship. I just get the sense that they are willing to wait. And I also think that you have this optimism that helps ignite their, you know, passions and desires as well. Like you are this guiding light that you help them to make sense of like the hardships. So an example of this might be where you give them encouragement and help them to feel better about the failures, and you know, they feel strength to move forward towards their goals because they start to feel like failure is just part of that journey, and that might not be something that they were able to really process and accept in the past. And that is something that men really have to struggle with because society says that they are supposed to constantly be achieving, constantly moving forward, constantly finding success, which I'm sure puts a lot of pressure on them. And you help them to let go of that, to feel like it's not about what another person thinks of them. It's about the journey that they're taking and the fulfillment that they find from that, and that any situation can be turned into a positive. It's all about mindset. This is gorgeous. So the other thing that I'm also seeing is I think that you're very flamboyant and vibrant. There is something very regal about you. You see things from a higher perspective. Like both of these birds, the dove and the parrot, are wearing crowns. Like you just have this very regal energy about you. And the dove is like, you know, draped in jewels. You might have very flamboyant style. You might, I mean, even this gorgeous guide has jewels in her hair. So, and the lust card has who I would assume is probably Venus on the card. There is the symbol for Venus on this card. So you embody love and beauty. And I think that you do it in a very unique way. It's something that is, you know, very authentic. Like you might be someone who likes to like follow fashion trends, but I feel like you spin them in some way. Like it's uniquely you. You might wear something that everyone else is wearing, but the way that you put it together is very fresh. So this is absolutely gorgeous. The more I look at the cards, the more I'm seeing things. Like with the full moon here, and there's a full moon here as well. Like you're illuminating truths. Like maybe you're able to point things out to some of these men that others have tried to share with them, but they didn't use the right words, and these men felt very triggered by it and wanted to move away from that, you know, realization. They didn't want to go there. And somehow the way that you impart this wisdom, it, you know, sort of puts them at ease and helps them to release their own boundaries. Like you're making changes in people's lives. Even though some of these people might be very reactive to you, I get the sense that over time, they have a rebirth. Like the patience card is also the death worm, is what it says. So death is all about rebirth, and behind this worm is the symbol for fire, the alchemical symbol for fire. And fire is all about rebirth as well, you know, burning everything down, and then all of a sudden new growth can come forward. So it might be painful, right? They might be burning from the inside out, but ultimately it's going to help them to be reborn. And it might be a situation where in the future they look back on the situation and they realize that, you know, you had the best of intentions and they were too hard on you, or they should have taken the advice. They could have spared themselves a lot of heartache and pain. Not that that is for you to, you know, worry about. Don't carry that cross. You know, just let it go. Everything happens for a reason. And even if the role that you're playing in their life is to be the teacher and they see you as a villain, that doesn't change the fact that you were meant to be there to play that role. You know, it is something that is admirable. Okay, so let's find out how men are affecting you. How are their energies influencing you? Oh man, okay, I knew this energy would come forward. So throughout the pulling of these cards, I kept feeling this strong Lilith energy. So you might have strong Lilith placements in your chart. You might feel very connected to the goddess Lilith. I feel very connected to the goddess Lilith. She really embodies that strong divine feminine independence and a willingness to go it alone, to take the road less traveled, to go out into the wilderness and make your own life. And that can be very intimidating, and it's definitely not the way that women are sort of influenced to think of themselves. And the card that you got is Black Dahlia, betrayal and dishonesty. But this figure on this card is very much a depiction of the way Lilith has been portrayed based on the religious text or the culture that is describing her, where she is sometimes seen as this demonic force that comes in the night. And I think that you might have felt like there was something wrong about you. I definitely get this energy coming forward as potentially the toxic relationships that you've had with men where they felt very threatened by you. And this might have been an energy that you really struggled with earlier on in life. Like, I get the sense of like a real coming of age where you're dating or you're interacting with, the people around you on a deeper level for the first time, like you are making decisions about the people that you want to spend your time with, and they are gaslighting you, or they are changing the way you feel about yourself. It's like they're telling you that your strength is a weakness, that women aren't supposed to be that way, or you're not supposed to embody feminine energy that way if you don't identify as being a feminine. We all have that energy within us. So this might have been very, very difficult for you. And then I also think of the Black Dahlia, which is one of the most famous murder cases out of the United States. And it's tragic. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but it's quite tragic story. And you might have been a victim to men that you thought you could trust. And you might have lost pieces of yourself, and you've gotten to a place now where you're starting to call your power back. You're starting to take those pieces back, and you are recognizing that you are the one that writes your own story, and the tragedy that's happened in your life could actually be your strength. Because the one thing about the Black Dahlia that I find really interesting is that so often when we hear about murders, the focus is really on the murderer, and the focus has always been on Elizabeth Smart, who was the Black Dahlia. She was the victim. Now, of course, they don't know who perpetrated the crime. There's theories around it, but even so, oftentimes there's still no focus on the victim. And in this case, she is like iconic in that realm of true crime. So even even the trauma that you've experienced actually is your strength, is what's coming forward. So you might, if you're in a place right now where you sort of see the stories of your past relationships as being signs of your vulnerability, or it makes you feel like a victim, repaint that, that you are, you're the protagonist. You are the center of your own story. So, you can describe yourself as the demon, or you can describe yourself as the goddess, like Lilith. Okay, let's see, how else is this masculine energy affecting you? All right, wow. Okay, so you got ghost fungus, strange spirits. Then you also got ghost orchid, phantoms and memories, intangible things. And then you got lavender, stress, or release stress, seek calm. This is so interesting. Ghost coming forward twice. So, I mean, I picked up on that energy of you potentially being spiritual. Some of you might actually be mediums. Like this awakening that you had, in your teen years where you go through puberty, might have actually ignited some sort of spiritual gifts inside you where you really have insight into people's motivations, and you understand like their insecurities. Like, this feels like shadow worker energy. And for those of you who haven't heard of that term before, it is the way that I choose to describe those that have to face a lot of karmic soul contracts, where you are in really tumultuous relationships, but you're playing the role of a guide or teacher to another, and it can be very challenging. It's like you're the light in the darkness helping them walk through. But oftentimes they can see you as the villain, and it can also trigger those energies inside you where you start to mirror that same behavior that they're projecting onto you. And it's difficult for sure, but very, very, very needed, very needed. And it looks to me like these experiences where you were sort of playing this role and maybe getting to know your own spiritual gifts. Maybe you're an empath and you are absorbing other people's energy, and you really, through these interactions with men, started to learn how other people's energy affects you, and then you sought calm in your own life and you got transformed. You know, like the unicorn has a horn on the third eye. The third eye is all about your psychic sight. So you were able to turn something that potentially was causing pain into your greatest strength. You were transformed into this mythical creature, making magic everywhere you go. And now the calm that you were potentially seeking outside of yourself comes from within. And that's why some of these men that you meet respond so positively, but then there's also this energy of them, you know, having all of their fears and insecurities drawn out of them. And that's why they see you as the villain. And the reason for that is you're at a higher vibration, and vibrations want to mirror each other. So when you are at a higher vibration and you're around them, your energy influences them to try and pull out all of the things that are keeping them at a lower vibration, which means all of their insecurities come to the surface. Well, because that's happening whenever they're around you, they associate you with negativity, but it's actually within themselves. So many of you are still going through this journey. Like, some of you might still be in this energy where you feel like there's something damaged or broken about you, and you might have had a lot of difficulty with relationships, like romantic relationships. But know that when you get into the energy of seeing yourself as this mythical, beautiful, divine creature, this unicorn, that's when things are really going to change for you. That's when you're going to be able to steer the ship towards the destiny that you want. If that means that you want to have a partner who can, you know, really understand your energy and support that, then you can have that. But that also means that you have to walk away from anyone who isn't showing you that respect, not hoping that they're going to change their attitude just because you want them to, you know, accepting the weaknesses that they have and knowing that maybe this person isn't the right match for you. You know, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that you have to keep looking for someone who is going to get it, right? Okay, so now let's find out how your energy affects them. So this is the things that are energetic is what I'm looking at. So when you walk into a room, what influence do you have on the masculine energy that's also in that room? How? Okay. Okay. Just like I was saying before. So you've got the Seven of Pentacles followed by the Five of Swords, the Page of Wands in reverse, and then the Six of Cups. So depending on the masculine energy, there are going to be individuals that feel very conflicted. They might be very argumentative with you and possibly want to take you down. But this might also be energy where they all of a sudden want to fight for you. You know, they start feeling like there is a competition for your attention. Then there are others that feel like you inspire them and you get them thinking about the next steps on their path. They want to, you know, plant those seeds. Potentially they want to plant seeds with you. They're the individuals that want to have a reciprocal relationship with you. Maybe they want to collaborate with you. They want to brainstorm ideas. Maybe you have shared interests and they just really like feel inspired. And then there are others like the Five of Swords where they feel very conflicted and they want to start thinking about the future or taking action towards you, but they are way too intimidated and they're not going to take any steps that might, damage their ego. Like they would rather be with someone that isn't as good a match to them and isn't going to challenge them, but is safe because they know they can just get them and control them. And you're not like that at all. So let's find out what your next relationship will be like. This will be romantic. And this is just general energy. If you're already in a relationship, this is the next energy that the two of you will share. Let's see. What can you tell me about pile number one's next relationship with masculine energy? And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a romantic relationship because, of course, not all of you are interested in masculines. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so the cards that you received are paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other, healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. You guys are on track for great fulfillment. So if you're interested in dating, then the next relationship that you have is going to be very fulfilling. There's the potential that you're going to find the love of your life. If you're already with the love of your life, you guys are going to continue to have beautiful experiences together. If you're not interested in dating at all, or you're not interested in masculines, you're still going to have beautiful relationships. That could be friendships, working relationships with the masculines in your life. Beautiful. Okay, so let me just get a couple final cards. This is basically advice. What would your guides like you to know about what we've talked about today? Okay, let's see. Oh my God. High Priestess. What did I say? You guys embody the High Priestess energy. You got High Priestess, you got Two of Cups, but you also got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So if any of you are in a situation where there is a third party, there is some sort of like, this could be romantic where you're sort of like not able to secure the relationship or get serious or have a commitment because the individual is sort of like on the fence. But this could also be a situation where you're not entirely sure about moving forward. What you're being encouraged to do is start thinking about the kind of partnerships you want, whether it's romantic or friendship. Stop settling for second best. Don't feel like your expectations of other people are too much, that you have to share your energy. You have to give more than others are going to give back to you. Like if the Three of Pentacles was in the upright, it would be talking about collaboration and partnership. But the sense that I get is that either the people that you've been with have not been collaborating with you, not giving back to you, or they're distracted by other people. And that should not be the case. You give so much. You have so much to share, and you deserve to have someone see that light within you. So allow yourself to only put energy into the relationships where people are giving back as much to you as they're expecting you to give to them. So that concludes your reading, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really impressed with you guys. I'd love to know your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below. I would love it if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that, or you could like the video. All of that really helps with the algorithm so other people can find me. And go and check out the Ana Luisa site. I love their jewelry, wear it every single day. So analuisa.com, and you can get 20% off with the code Odessa20. So if any of you guys would like to work with me, I do private readings. You can go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can find out all of my services, my booking information there. And if you have any questions for me, you can also reach me through my site. I'd be happy to answer any of those questions for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number two, welcome back. So you picked the yellow daisy, as well as the blue kyanite crystal and this beautiful gold Ana Luisa ring. And in case you missed the intro, this is a special collaboration with Ana Luisa. If you haven't checked out their site, I highly recommend it. You can go to analuisa.com, and if you find a piece that you love, enter code Odessa20 and you'll receive 20% off. So in today's reading, I'm going to be looking at how men view you, and then I'll be diving into some other decks to find out how your energy affects them, how their energy affects you. So let's find out how men view you right now. So the first card that you received is Otter Spirit. You are never alone, card number 42. That reduces down to the number 6. Then Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours, card number 16. That reduces down to the number 7. That's interesting. So 6, 7. Then you receive Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, and using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Then Pineapple, Reconciliation, Egotism, card number 5. Opal, Love, Loyalty, Peace. Opal is a stone full of full of emotion and amplifies the energies of the wearer. It intensifies emotions and enhances vision. It helps to soothe the senses and aids in self-expression. It encourages loyalty and faithfulness. Then Mouse, you're overlooking some important details, so pay close attention to what's going on. Phoenix, Rebirth. Kindred Partnership, card number 1. And Pleiades, Double Mission, Channeling and Uplifting Humanity. All right, so as I said in the intro, there is the possibility that for some of you, the energies that come forward are going to be about specific people and not just general. And I do get that sense from this pile. So this might not resonate for all of you, but I do feel that for many of you, there is an ex from the past that might have felt very much like twin flame energy. And this person is finally having a realization that you are someone important, that you really helped to change them for the better, and they would like to reconcile. That initially, I think that they felt very put upon by the relationship. The energy I get is that the two of you met and there was just this instant attraction, this instant knowing, this feeling that you were meant to be, like very soulmate, strong attraction, strong energy that goes beyond words. It's more spiritual. And that was something that they weren't prepared for. And part of the twin flame journey is helping each other to recognize our own insecurities, helping us to recognize the things that hold us back, helping us to face our fears, helping us to face our own anger, helping us to face our own ego. And that can be extremely hard to deal with. I think that there might have been times when they weren't loyal to you. That's what's strongly coming forward. That there might have been a tendency for them to not commit, whereas you felt like there was no question that the two of you were meant to be together, and they might have been very devious towards you. And it was mainly because they had a fear of commitment. Fear of surrendering and then potentially getting hurt. But ultimately, now they're in that hurt energy. They created what they were trying to avoid. Now, if this isn't resonating for you, it's still possible that you have had this influence on people and it wasn't the same experience for you, that they were attracted to you, they wanted there to be something more, but they, sort of ruined it before it even got off the ground. And for you, it was just one of those misconnections, and they're still thinking about you. But for many of you, I think that you actually did get into a relationship with this person, and you tried and tried and tried to make it work, but it just was too difficult. I think at some point you recognize that, like, no, I'm surrendering all of my energy to this person, and I need to move on. And you had your Phoenix moment. You rebirthed yourself, and you started to focus on the things that brought you a sense of peace and love, and that you were uplifted. You were uplifted internally. You started to feel good about yourself, but you also might have started to focus on doing things that you were passionate about. Maybe it had something to do with helping other people, or just being around people that got it, like we're on the same page as you, and you didn't want to have the drama any longer. I get the sense that this individual, or potentially it's more than one individual, that they were supposed to have this sort of epiphany. Like, all of this was by design. Like, the fact that it didn't work out and the two of you split up, where it never got off the ground, it was all designed to help them eventually recognize that they were wearing a false mask, that they weren't being honest with the world about who they are, and they were falling for this societal pressure that says that, they can't show vulnerability or weakness. And I think that they really had to reassess what their idea of masculinity is, and when I'm talking about masculinity and men, there's a good chance that many of these individuals that I'm referring to are men. They would consider themselves men. But it's also possible that we're just talking about the energy, the masculine energy that they embody, and how that influences the decisions that they make and how they view themselves. And they wouldn't refer to themselves as masculines at all, right? Because we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energy within us. So if this is resonating for you, but you wouldn't necessarily, label the person that you're thinking of as a masculine, it might just be referring to their own internal masculine energy. So I think that this relationship really helped this individual start to see the small things about themselves that they had overlooked. The things that they possibly didn't value initially. I get the sense that this person might have wanted to, be perceived as, desirable and successful and strong and intelligent, and they would do anything that they needed to do to help convince people of that, but internally they never felt that way. So it was like this constant struggle, even if the entire world saw them as, like the epitome of, perfection. They never felt that way. So they were constantly had this like wandering eye, or they couldn't commit, and they wanted to like always, the grass is always greener kind of energy. But I also think that for you, it might have been an awakening. That you might have finally realized that love isn't enough, and that you have to trust your instincts, and that you are a good judge of character, and you're worthy of having someone truly devoted to you and truly in partnership with you. Like, you shouldn't have to be constantly worrying or wondering, and not everyone has your best interest at heart. I get the sense that like there were lots of little things that were going on behind your back that maybe you overlooked, or maybe you just don't have a suspicious nature and you just trusted this person inherently, and they were not someone that you could trust. And unfortunately, you realize that not everyone sees life and partnership the same way you do. And that's what gave you the strength to walk away. That's what gave you the strength to have this rebirth. And it's only your success and the distance between you and this other person that's actually helping them to elevate, helping them to have this realization. Like sometimes things don't work out, and it is the most perfect outcome to the situation, because if you had stayed together, this person would never have had this realization. And the realization, the gift that you gave them, is that they can be themselves, instead of portraying what they think other people will respond to. They get to truly be authentic and vulnerable. And maybe things will never work out with you. I do get the sense that this person probably wants to reconcile with you, because you did get the reconciliation card, but I don't necessarily get the sense that that would be the best step for you. I don't think that you're on the same page, and I think that there are people out there that will, really match your energy. I think that it's not just romantic partnership, it's whole communities, and I get this sense that just having the realization that this person has had isn't enough. They still have to do so much work to be able to really change the way they behave. It's not enough for them to just know that they made a mistake in the past. Like, how did they keep that from happening in the future? And maybe in another life, the two of you will come back together. Because like I said, I'm getting this strong sense of twin flame energy. But now it's time for you to have a divine counterpart. And a divine counterpart is a person that's equally healed to you. You'll still have the same intensity in the relationship, but they're actually going to be ready for it. So it will be something that empowers you. And then the two of you will support each other to be able to accomplish this other mission, this double mission. And what that means by the double mission is we're all here to learn lessons and grow. I say that all the time. We are here to experience the duality of life, the positive and the negative, to be able to learn from that experience, to find unconditional love, to accept ourselves, and to then embrace our gifts and surrender to the universe. And then finally also find patience, and to be able to have empathy for other people. And the only way to really have empathy for another person's situation is to be able to walk in their shoes. So that's like basically what we're here doing. And for you to be able to accomplish all of those goals and to have that personal growth, you need to be with a person that's able to do that for you. But you like to be able to allow you to have the freedom to expand and be more than you were yesterday, to continually transform and not be threatened by that. And then you also have this secondary mission that not all people have, where you're here to help other people. So you're obviously spiritually grown enough, you've had enough soul experience to get to a place where you could tap into those lessons and you could share that with other people, which you did do with this person in the past. And you played the role of teacher, and now it's time for you to do that in partnership with another person and to affect more than just one individual. So let's find out how this masculine energy, men, have affected you. All right. Okay, so this is mirroring what I was just talking about. So you got thistle, double-edged sword, duality. You got wolfsbane, caution and death. Mugwort, increase awareness, banish fatigue. And papaya, healthy habits, long life. So part of the journey was you recognizing that, you have to protect yourself, and you have to be courageous and walk away from situations where you're being taken advantage or you're being drained, that not everyone you're attracted to has your best interest at heart. And it's okay to love someone at a distance and walk away from this situation to protect yourself. And there'll always be another opportunity, because you are going to take the lessons of that experience and transform and transcend. And that experience can be painful because, of course, there are deep emotions there, but it's for your highest and best good. Like being able to look back at the situation, recognize that, yes, it was painful, but you learned a lot, they learned a lot, and have gratitude for that. That it has increased your awareness about your own strengths and the complexity of relationships, the complexity of stepping into our own soul's truth as well. And it's changing the habits that you have. So it was likely very painful for you to have these experiences. And for some of you, you're still having these experiences. You might be saying that, you still keep meeting karmic, partners, or you can't seem to cut the cord with this ex of yours. Like you just keep being drawn together. But it's partially, if that's the case, it's partially because the lesson hasn't been completely internalized yet, and there's a need for you to literally cut the cord, and that can be very challenging. There might be a narrative inside your mind that is telling you, oh, this is the only chance I'll ever have at love, and that is not the case. So let's find out how your energy is affecting, the masculines in your life. But honestly, I truly feel that for many of you, there is one specific person that's really strongly coming forward. So how is your current energy affecting this person is what I want to ask. Oh, wow. Okay, so the cards that you received are Nine of Cups, Two of Swords, the Chariot. So this person really feels like they're torn, because they really want to move forward with you and they want to have that balance. They want to go on a journey with you, but they also see that you are really, really happy with the independence that you have. I definitely feel like there's distance between you. You might even be in a no contact situation, but it's like they're torn. Like they see you as like the embodiment of their happiness, but they also recognize the pain that they bring into your life because they are unaware of what is driving them. Like they don't recognize their own shadow. They know it's there. They know that they've made the wrong decisions, but they are not able to recognize it as it's starting to, bubble up inside them and how that affects the decisions and actions that they take. And they would like to be able to take action and move towards you, but there's a lot of illusions around this. So let's get some cards and find out like how this is going to unfold. This next energy is going to be about your next relationship. If you've been bearing with me throughout this and you don't have a past lover or a connection, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be an ex-best friend. It could be, an estranged family member. But if you don't have one particular person that you're thinking of, in general, men feel very torn around you, or masculine energy feels very torn around you. You're independent and they want to, take action towards you, but it's like they don't feel like they have to balance to be able to do that. That they recognize that they're going to hurt you, and they don't want to go there. So you might have found that you're really attracted to somebody, or like something starts and all of a sudden they just ghost you, and it's like they might not be able to articulate it. They recognize that they're not ready. And you should actually be grateful. That probably makes you feel terrible when it happens because you think, what's wrong with me? And it's like, no, honestly, they know that there's something wrong with them. So let's find out what's going on with your next relationship. Okay, let's see. All right, so my friend, you got heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breaking up, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. Then you got hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. The runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego, and girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. This definitely feels like it's talking about a specific connection that many of you have had. This is highlighting that the person that you might have had this connection with, your twin flame, definitely recognizes that they are the problem. They're running away. They're constantly sabotaging relationships. They're feeling a lot of grief and remorse about what's happened. This could be energy that they're going to step into. At this point in time, you might look at their socials and think, oh no, they're fine. They're happy. They don't miss me at all. But behind closed doors, they definitely do have a lot of guilt and remorse. And in the future, they're going to be really shattered by this because Spirit's going to, rip the blindfold away, the illusions of, how important they are, and their ego is going to be stripped away, and they're going to have to face what they've done. They're going to have to become vulnerable because that was the whole point of this, so that they could learn something, so you could learn something. And you're moving on, happily single. Embrace that energy, because that's the kind of energy that will bring in that divine counterpart, like the true person that like gets you, sees your light, and wants to help that light grow even more. Okay, so let's get some cards that will give you some advice from your guides on what you should potentially do with the information that you've received today. What advice do you have for pile number 2? Okay, so you got the 2 of Wands, 6 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, then the Queen of Coins. So your guides are telling you that it's time for you to move away from this person. It'll be bittersweet. This 6 of Swords can be talking about releasing and moving ahead with your life, but also feeling some sadness at that. There's a relief to a certain degree because you're not going to be in the middle of that storm any longer. You're not going to have to be thinking about what are they thinking, or why did they do that, or what can I do better to get them to open up. You can't do anything. They have to go through this epiphany. They have to like go through a rebirth, and they haven't even gone through the death phase yet. So you need to keep moving ahead because you are meant to start reaping the rewards of what you've been, working on. All of the seeds that you've planted on your journey of, rebirth and growth. Now it's time for you to start getting some of those rewards and to start seeing yourself as this queen of coins, someone who's very accomplished, very grounded, very attractive, very abundant. And if you don't feel like you're getting all of the abundance that you want in the physical world, it's there. It's in the energetic. So you just need to like release your attachment to someone who is holding you at a lower vibration, because when you accept relationships where they treat you as less than, the universe mirrors that energy. So you get fewer blessings and opportunities and less joy. But you can look back at the relationship and you can highlight in your mind and hold on in your heart the beauty and the partnership, the things that you loved about this person, but you can start to plan for something else. Right now, you're sort of at this crossroad and you haven't quite decided what you want to do. Like, you might still be in a relationship with this person and it's on again, off again. Or you might be thinking about going back with this person and they might have reached out to you. But you're being encouraged to be able to hold love for this person, but not necessarily walk that path with them. Because, like I said, they have a different journey to go down, and you have rewards that you need to start to receive. And the two of you are potentially going to come back together later on, but right now, all it would do is hold both of you back from receiving what you truly deserve. Like right now, it's like you're the sun and they're the moon. They still need to figure out the illusions, but there is the potential for transformation. And for some of you, you might get back together with this person in the future, but I do get the sense that it would be like 5-10 years down the road. So that concludes your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. This was such a pleasure. I love, love, love the twists and turns that these readings can take, because I wasn't anticipating such a strong storyline to come forward, but I hope that this resonated for you. And for those of you that have been on this sort of twin flame journey, or some of this, attachment really resonates for you, please let me know in the comments, or share anything that you were thinking of during the reading. I love to read your comments. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you enjoyed the reading, please do. I would love to have you. You could like the reading as well. All of that engagement really helps with the algorithm, and it's nice to have that additional support from you guys. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, I do private readings. You can go to my website, odessamall.com. You'll find all of my services, my booking information, my prices, and all of that there. And if you have any questions, you can also reach me through my website. And don't forget to check out the Ana Luisa site, analuisa.com. And you can use the code ODESSA20 to receive 20% off. So have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, file number 3, welcome back. So you selected the selenite stick with the gorgeous Ana Luisa rings and the orange flowers from my garden. And this is a special collaboration with Ana Luisa. If you haven't checked out their site, definitely go and do that, analuisa.com. And if you find something that you love, you can receive 20% off by using the code ODESSA20. So in today's reading, I am going to be revealing to you how men view you right now. And I'm also going to look into how your energy affects them and how their energy affects you. So let's get into the cards and see. So the first card that you received is Stag Spirit. Take the lead, card number 58. And then you receive Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful, card number 11. Followed by Elephant Spirit. Learn from the past, card number 25. Priest facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. Then card number 4, Decrease. Card number 4, Great Gratitude. Then Magic. Card number 4 again, Intuition. Some of you might have been seeing 444 or the number 4 on its own regularly. Then Sun, Happiness and Well-Being. Firecracker, Excitement. Clear Quartz, Healing, Amplification, Intensity. And it says clear quartz is one of the most universal crystals with the versatile ability to amplify all things around it with its endless possibilities. It aids in clearing negativity and facilitates connections with higher realms and the higher self. Then Rattlesnake, the experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. Pillar of Light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, and don't dim to fit in. You are dimming your light or how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Wow, okay, so this is definitely my strongest spiritual pile, 100%. So you really strongly affect men on a spiritual level. They see you as having a lot of wisdom. I think that you have this energy that is transformative in their lives. Like you create a lot of healing energy for them, and they're so grateful to know you. The sense that I get is that you seem to make all of the pain that they've experienced in the past makes sense. So you actually might be a teacher, you might be a nurse or a doctor, or you are a coach, you're a therapist, you are a spiritual leader. There's strongly this energy of you helping them to learn from the past, but you are taking the lead. Like you are helping them to walk through this transformation. Like it definitely feels like you are helping them to make sense of karmic relationships is what's coming forward. And you do this with a lot of gentle energy. Like you do this and you help them to sort of like look at things that were really scary to them. Like they really felt like they could never go there. They could never open up, communicate about their true feelings. They could never become vulnerable. You might be like psychics, tarot readers with you are the oracle coming forward. You might be astrologers talking to them about their chart. But it's like you help them to look at their own vulnerabilities and weaknesses and actually be excited to go through the transformation, actually get excited for the healing. So, I mean, an example of this could be you are a physical therapist and someone who has experienced a major accident or a major health issue might feel very defeated. They might be feeling like they're never going to ever get back to a place of stability. They're always going to be their trauma. Their identity is now like linked with what they experienced, and they're only thinking about the things that they're never going to be able to do. And you help them to look at things from a totally different perspective. One, you help them to recognize that it's mind over matter, that they can focus on the healing and they can transform themselves. And also, yes, they lost something, but they've gained something as well, right? Like the butterfly. The butterfly has to no longer be the caterpillar in order to be able to become the butterfly and to be able to see things from a higher perspective and actually to elevate, right? And that's what you're doing. Like your vibration is rising. You're helping them to transform and see themselves as powerful no matter where they are in their lives. You know, like this feels like they're embracing a whole new way of life. And it makes me think that you're a catalyst for them to become leaders in their own right, to like step into who they authentically are. And sometimes that can be really difficult. Like a lot of people end up being able to be leaders or teachers or guides to people based on their own trauma, the hardships that they've had in life, you know, like to come from nothing and to then be able to, you know, guide people that are in the same situation that they were in and feel optimism about, you know, the future, even though there are things stacked against them. It's like you're doing that. You are like amplifying their energy, whereas before they were in this depleted state. They felt like everything, they had lost everything. And you're saying, no, 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 you haven't lost anything. You've gained so much. You know, you were just shedding an old skin that wasn't going to work for you any longer. And that's when like the happiness and the well-being comes into it. And then they find this great gratitude. You know, like this is really powerful. Like if you haven't already stepped into a role where you're doing healing in some capacity, you probably will find your path at some point. You'll find like yourself drawn to something where you're able to take the lead, where you're able to facilitate communities. Outreach is what's coming forward. It could be literally anything though. Like you're going to be part of the finding the stability, bringing what I wanted to just say is disability, but I was intending to say stability, but what started to come out was disability. So yeah, you might be working in healthcare in some way, but you are going to bring the pillars of stability because you've got 4, 4, 4. That is so powerful. I am so excited for you guys. Wow. You guys feel like soul family to me. This energy really feels familiar. And I think that to a certain degree, some of you might have felt like you were, you know, shattered or weakened by some of the obstacles that you faced or some of the hardships that you've experienced. Whether those are physical or mental or emotional, you know, like you had harshly judged yourself, but you realized that you have to find a reason to keep going, right? Like you have to be your number one cheerleader. And it's like spirit came in and helped you to find the joy. I am not entirely sure. It feels to me like you might have gone through a dark night of the soul and then a spiritual awakening where everything started to make sense and become illuminated. Or maybe you're still going through that. Maybe you haven't fully stepped into that yet. But that is the energy that you bring about in these men's lives. Like you're the catalyst that sparks this for them. And you might not even realize that you're doing this, you know, like you might not have fully like embraced how important your role is, that you are truly this energy of transformation, you know, like this vibration rising. This energy sort of came forward in pile number 2 as well. So if you were deciding between the 2 piles, you might want to go back, but vibrations affect each other. So if you are at a higher vibration than another person that you are with, your vibration will naturally want to elevate them. So what your vibration will do is start pulling out all of the insecurities, all of the blockages, and bringing that up to the surface so that person can face it and shed that energy and then match your vibration so that the 2 of you are at a higher vibration. Some people have a really hard time facing that, and they will sort of run away from it. And the energy I get from you is that you're a true light worker, whereas in pile number 2, they were more of a shadow worker. And both of them are necessary, both of them are equal, both of them are beautiful. Shadow workers are just very, very familiar with the darkest aspects of life, and you seem to be more embodying the highest vibration, the light aspect. And you might be a combination of both. You know, you might have started off in the shadows and then you worked your way into the light. You can transform. Like, you don't have to play the same role all the way through your journey, but it feels to me like you're really embodying the light worker energy at this point in time. Okay, so let's get some more cards and find out exactly how these men's energy or the masculine energy is influencing you. Oh. Okay. So you guys really are magical. You definitely are connected to spirit in some way. You got Witch Hazel, magic is afoot, surprising developments. Then Sage, wisdom, clearing your head. And of course, an oracle is also referred to as a sage. Then you got Time, banish nightmares, mental health. And like, we've got a witch on this card, a wizard on this card. And then you've got the yew tree, ancestors and resurrection, renewal of spirit. So we've got this mediumship aspect coming forward. So you guys are definitely very, very, very spiritual. If you're not playing a role in this life where you are doing spiritual work, you've definitely been like a spiritual leader at some point. You know, maybe you were strongly connected with magic or honoring the ancestors or just passing down wisdom. It could have been in any number of ways, but that is definitely inside you. And even if you're not actively doing that in this life, learn about it. Go and learn about these things. Now, this mental health thing and clearing your head, like, I really think that you could be involved in helping people with their mental health. You've been able to give them the wisdom and help to renew their spirit. Maybe you're a channel for their ancestors. Maybe you're doing mediumship and you're delivering messages. And, you know, we're all channeling at all times, you know, like, we just don't always recognize it. So you could be channeling somebody's ancestors and you don't even know that that's what you're doing. You just are speaking from the heart, but those thoughts are coming from a deeper place. This is really, really, really powerful. Like, you're being guided to step more into this role based on the energy that is surrounding you. So you might be a reluctant healer is the energy that's coming forward. This might be a situation where people are constantly in crisis around you, or they're constantly asking you for your advice and guidance, and you were sort of reluctant because it's draining to you. I get the energy that it's very draining for you. So you might be an empath and you really need to be protective of your energy. Use sage or another, you know, herb or even sound clearing to you know, clear your energy. I mean, selenite. You selected the selenite. Like, I use selenite all the time. You can just pass it over your auric field, just like I'm doing right now. And it will make a huge difference. You'll feel it, especially at the primary chakras. You can really, really feel it. So I would recommend doing that. These selenite sticks are relatively inexpensive. And I actually, where did you get it? Nope. I thought mugwort, but you know, sage bundles you can buy, Palo Santo you can get. I grow my own herbs. All of these sage bundles I made myself. This is just regular garden sage, like kitchen sage. And I just wrapped it up. You know, at the end of the summer, I just cut down the entire plant and I just bundle it all up when it's, you know, still fresh, and then it just naturally dries. So doing things like that will be very, very healing for you. And possibly doing some meditation, renewing your own spirit, making sure you're giving yourself time to rest and recuperate, having salt baths. But ultimately, I feel like the masculine energy around you is helping you to step into this healing role. Okay, so let's find out how your energy is affecting these men with the masculine energy. Okay, so the Star, 9 of Cups, mystery, and duality. Oh, yes, you are delivering messages. You are revealing the great mysteries of life. You're helping people to see their divine purpose. You're helping them to see the beauty of even the painful situations. The duality of life is painful. We have positive and negative experiences, and all of them are designed to help us grow. You know, even the worst situations that happen in life, when you look at them from a distance, there are positives that you can find in even the most horrific things. It might be a case of being able to step into more justice, you know, to change the way that the justice system works, where we recognize that someone has been wrongfully convicted of something, and then we have to change the system. Or someone was hurt by a medical procedure. They were hurt by medication that they were given, and that was a tragedy for that individual, but their sacrifice actually helped us to be able to avoid that in the future, change the way things are done, possibly put in regulations so that no one else suffers that same way. And if we look at life as just one moment in time, like you only get this one shot, then it just all seems so tragic. But we are infinite beings and you're reincarnating. And that's just one chapter in that individual's soul. And I get the sense that you see life the same way that I do. And you are expressing that to these people so that they feel some joy, some hope. And the fact that the tragedy could have actually been a blessing, where now they are going to look at life from a new perspective and help be a voice and a leader to others that are going through the same hardships, you know, like the fire that rips through an old growth forest, allowing new growth to come forward. 9 of Cups, independence and fulfillment, that you are helping them to see, you know, what they can have gratitude for in their life. That, you know, maybe they can even have gratitude and fulfillment from the things that they didn't understand. Like all of a sudden something will just click. Okay, that is so powerful. So now I'd like to know what your next relationship is going to be like. Now, this will be with masculine energy. It might be a person that identifies as being a man. It could be a friendship. It could be a relationship that's romantic. It could be, you know, rekindling a stronger bond with a family member. But let's see what comes forward. What will pile number 3's next relationship with masculine energy be like? Okay, wow, all right. Well, it looks to me like you're going to be processing some painful experiences. You got the stabbed in the back card, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. But then you also got paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So this might be a situation where you have been sort of withdrawing and been very independent because you've experienced heartache and pain, and it's a matter of you taking your own advice and allowing yourself to be open to new possibilities, new expansion, new relationships, and that things will actually work out entirely different than they did in the past. You do have a tendency to naturally draw sort of wounded birds towards you, but that doesn't mean that that's all you'll ever find. I get the sense that the universe wants to bring something new into your life, but there might be a certain amount of pain associated even with that new, fresh relationship, even if it's 100% healthy, because you might be triggered, you know, you might be like responding to this new person and sort of reading into their behavior based on what you've experienced in the past, and they have completely different intentions, and you have to sort of like change that auto response, change that programming, and realize you're safe. This is going to be a healthy, beautiful experience. You don't have to be, you know, fearful of, you know, things causing you to be heartbroken. Okay, so now I'd like to get some final cards. This is advice from your guides based on what you've heard today. What would they like you to know? What would you like pile number 3 to know? Based on what we've already talked about. Okay. The Moon, the Magician, 9 of Pentacles, and 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so basically your guides are saying that even though you are this guide and teacher to others, and you really help them to like release the restrictions they have in their own mind, you are also guilty of this to a certain degree. You know, you are also vulnerable to the same kind of illusions, and it might not be in all areas of your life. Obviously, you've had a lot of growth, but there might be certain things that are still holding you back, specifically with your relationship with masculine energy, and you have to just recognize that you can make a choice. Like if you are holding your relationships with masculine energy to a very high standard, and you are only looking for energies that meet this 9 or 10 of Pentacles, you will be able to manifest that into your life. The Magician is masculine energy, which means that it's very action oriented. You have to make certain decisions, take certain actions, utilize the, you know, tools at your disposal to make something happen in your life. And what you see can be yours, but you have to consistently be looking towards this kind of outcome. So the 9 and 10 of Pentacles are very stable energies, very grounded, which is one of the energies you already bring with all of these 4s, and very abundant. It could mean that you're going to have a lot of luxury and a lot of material rewards in your life. And it's also about feeling independent and luxurious, even without any of the blessings, like the material blessings. And it's slow growing, you know, it's like not rushing into anything. So knowing that the right person is going to come to you at the right time, and you don't have to rush into having this like really intense relationship with them. You know, you can take your time, and the right people will prove to you that they are worthy of your attention, because they'll be consistent, you know, and you will be able to avoid a lot of this sort of like insecure, unbalanced energy by just pacing yourself. So that concludes your reading, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts on the reading. How does this relate to you? How does this reflect your life experience? Are you interested in, you know, the spiritual aspects of life? Do you have a healing job? Like, how does this all unfold for you? You can leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you. You could also like the reading. That really helps with the algorithm, so I would really appreciate it if you did enjoy it. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. I do private readings, and I do a lot of other services as well. So you can go over there and check out what my services are, my availability, my pricing. If you have any questions, you can reach me through my site as well. And of course, go and check out analuisa.com. And if you find something that you love, use the code ODESSA20 to receive 20% off. So have a beautiful day or night, and I look forward to reading for you again in the future. Take care.